seed of Prema Bhakti, as you all know. And the expression of gratitude feeling becomes when we hear, already we have some gratitude towards them. Naturally, each of us has. But when we hear their glory, their contribution to Mahaprabhu's movement, it reinforces our feeling. And it's necessary to advance in spiritual path. So it is wonderful that each temple of our society, that we celebrate this kind of festival. Otherwise, we feel like sometimes dry. So I appreciate that every temple is doing this, and our ISKCON leaders, they are making sure we follow this. Wonderful. So today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 12, text 20. You had 20 also yesterday?
No, we did the second half of 19 yesterday.
Oh, I see.
19 was the right thing to do.
So today is 20 is 2 person or 1?
I don't know.
Can you?
One
just-
person.
Oh, 1 person.
It's not that long.
Okay. Okay. So this chapter is titled by Srila Prabhupada as a birth of Emperor Parikshit. And text 20. I'm going to read the word meaning first, so we know what we are chanting, singing. Eshaha, this child, Data, the donor in charity, Saranna, protector of the surrendered, Cha and Jatha, as he certainly, Oshinara, the country named Oshinar, Shibi, Jasa, fame, Bitanita, disseminator, Swanam of the kinsman, Doshantiya Eva, like Bharat, the son of Dushant, Jajvanam, of those who have performed many sacrifices. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Together, Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayat Nasta Prayesu Avadresu Nittam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki Eso Data Sarannascha Jata Hi Asuni Aushinara Siddhi Jasobitanita Sanam Dushanti Riva Jajvanam Yesodata Sarannascha Jathahi Aushunyara Siddhi Jasobitanita Sanam Dashanti Riva Jajvanam. Sesha Prabhu. Yesodata Sarannascha Jatahi Aushinara Siddhi Yasovitanitasanam Dosanti Vajajvanam Isadata Saranyascha Tadasinarasiri Yashovitanitasanam Dosanti Vajajvanam Isadata Saranyascha Yashanyasinarashiri Yashovitanitasanam Shanti Vajajmanam Isadata Saranyascha Mothers, Esodata Saranyascha Yasavyasinarashini Tanitasanam Shanti Vajajvanam Saranyascha Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. This child will be munificent donor of charity and proper protector of the surrendered, like the famous King Sibi of the Ushinor country. And he will expand the name and fame of his family like Bharata, the son of Maharaj Dussanta. Purport. A king becomes famous by his acts of charity, performance of jagna, and protection of the surrendered, etc. A Kshatriya king is proud to give protection to the surrendered soul. This attitude of a king is called Ishvara Bhava, or factual power to give protection in a righteous cause. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord instructs living being to surrender unto Him. It's interesting how Prabhupada connecting us with this past tense. And He promises all protection. The Lord is all powerful and true to His words, and therefore He never fails to give protection to His different devotees. The king, being the representative of the Lord, must possesses this attitude of giving protection to the surrendered soul at all risk. Maharaj Sibi, the king of Ushinara, was an intimate friend of Maharaj Jayati, who was able to reach the heavenly planet along with Maharaj Sibi. Maharaj Sibi was aware of the heavenly planet where he was to be transferred after his death. And the description of this heavenly planet is given in the Mahabharata Adi Parva 96.6 to 9. Maharaj Sibi was charitably disposed that he wanted to give over his acquired position in the heavenly kingdom to Jayati, but he did not accept it. Jayati went to the heavenly planet along with the great rishis like Astaka and others. On inquiry from the rishis, Jayati gave an account of Shiva's pious acts when all of them were on the path to heaven. He has become a member of the assembly of Jamaraj, who has become his worshipful deity. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, the worshipper of the demigods goes to the planet of the demigods. Janti Deva Bhata Devan. So Maharaj Shivi has become an associate of the great Vaishnava authority, Jamaraj, on that particular planet. While he was on the earth, he became very famous as protector of surrendered soul and a donor of charities. Now in this, what I understand here is indirectly discussing about bhakti, the appreciation, glorification of the donors to an extent that they offer their own body. I mean, literally Maharaj Shivi will read in a few minutes. So this is like if I was thinking this morning that Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, 8, 9, 10, 11, these 4 slokas gives the gradation of the devotees. So you can put actually King Shivi, Maharaj Shivi, in the category of 3rd and 4th or 11th sloka. The king of heaven once took the shape of a pigeon hunter bird, eagle, and Agni, the fire god, took the shape of a pigeon. The pigeon, while being chased by the eagle, took shelter on the lap of Maharaj Shivi. And the hunter eagle wanted the pigeon back from the king. The king wanted to give it some other meat to eat and request the bird not to kill the pigeon. The hunter bird refused to accept the king's offer, but it was settled later on that the eagle would accept flesh from the body of the king of the pigeon's equivalent weight. The king began to cut flesh from his body. Can you imagine doing that? To weigh in the balance equivalent to the weight of the pigeon. But the mystic pigeon always remained heavier. The king then put himself on the balance to equate with the pigeon. Means he is offering his literally the whole body to be eaten by the eagle. The king then put himself on the balance to equate with the pigeon. Then the demigod were pleased with him. The king of heaven and the fire god disclosed their identity. Then the king was blessed by them. Devarshi Narada also glorified Maharaj Shivi for his great achievement, specifically in charity and protection. Maharaj Shivi sacrificed his own son for the satisfaction of human beings in his kingdom. Thus child Parikshit was to become second Shivi in charity and protection. Wonderful thought. Dusyanti Bharata, there is another great example of Parikshit Maharaj's quality compared here with Dusyanti Bharata. So there is 3 Bharats, but here is one Bharat is focused. There are many Bharats in history, of which Bharat, the brother of Lord Ram, Bharat, the son of King Rishabha, and Bharat, the son of Maharaj Dushyant, are very famous. All those Bharats are historically known to the universe. This earth planet is known as Bharat or Bharat Varsha due to King Bharat, the son of Rishabha. But according to some, this land is known as Bharat due to the reign of the son of Dushyant. So far as we are convinced, this land named Bharat Varsha was established from the reign of Bharat, the son of King Rishabh, the Jarabharat, became Jarabharat later, by King Bharat. Before him, the land was known as Ilapiti Varsha, but just after the coronation of Bharat, the son of Rishabha, this land became famous as Bharat Varsha. But despite all this, Bharat, the son of Maharaj Dushyant, was not less important. He is the son of famous beauty Shakuntala. Maharaj Dushyanta fell in love with Shakuntala in the forest, and Bharat was conceived. After that, Maharaj forgot his wife Shakuntala by the curse of Kanna Muni, and the child Bharat was brought up in the forest by his mother. Even in his childhood, he was so powerful that he challenged the lions and elephants in the forest and would fight with them as little children play with cats and dogs. Wow. Because of the boys becoming so strong, more than the so-called modern Tarjan. Prabhupada is very funny. The rishis in the forest called him Sarva Daman, or one who is able to control everyone. A full description of Maharaj Bharat is given in the Mahabharata, Adi Parva. The Pandava or the Kurus are sometimes addressed as Bharat due to being born in the dynasty of famous Maharaj Bharat, the son of King Dushyant. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadatisha Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Pada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitanscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tinam Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So these both examples is a great example, but it's very difficult for a common people to even think, to sacrifice. But it's not that difficult for the devotees in our movement, because we see Srila Prabhupada demonstrated, exhibited himself through his life, how much sacrifice. Of course, Prabhupada was very merciful. I remember a past time that middle of the night he called for Guru Kripa Maharaj. And Guru Kripa Maharaj came to his room as the middle of the night, and Prabhupada said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm sleeping." He said, "Why are you sleeping? You're sannyasi." "I'm a sannyasi. We should sacrifice our life." But Prabhupada, this is middle of the night. He said, "It's middle of the night for me too. I'm a sannyasi, you are sannyasi, I'm translating." He said, "But I'm tired." He said, "Well, you have to give up slowly, slowly, less and less sleep." Sannyasi means you have to sacrifice. So then Guru Kripa Maharaj says, "But I'm conditioned soul, you are pure devotee." Then Prabhupada said, "Why you are not pure devotee?" He could not say anything anymore. He said, "All right, Prabhupada, I'll do. What do you want me to do?" He said, "Go back to sleep." Prabhupada was very merciful. I was thinking, okay, Prabhupada understand. But he made a very nice point. And we see Guru Kripa Maharaj is still today in Vrindavan. Every day he's sacrificing his life, coming to Krishna Balaram temple and worshipping Prabhupada and preaching. It's so nice. So I thought just to demonstrate King Gajendra's story, and you all know it, it's familiar, but just to look at it in a different angle, how it's relevant to our angle, that King Parikshit, who sacrificed also his life, and to demonstrate his beautiful 17 qualities, this is how I counted, it could be more, the 17 qualities, and Prabhupada or Bhagavatam giving an example of great sacrifice, personality, or great personality who demonstrated their wonderful quality. So they compared Parikshit Maharaj as like this. As Prabhupada was asking a question after the class in Paris, Sripad Indradumna Maharaj, while he was visiting in Alachua many years back, he mentioned that story. It stuck with me that Prabhupada said, "Is there any question?" And one new bhakta just joined day before, he raised his hand. He said, "When can I become like you?" And of course some sannyasis were looking at him. What kind of question? He's a new bhakta, doesn't know. So they're kind of like giving shh. But Prabhupada noticed, and Prabhupada said, no, this is a very good question. I mean, to me, Prabhupada is very humble. Hardly ever he revealed who he is, his quality. But at that time, in that class, he says, "I'm traveling all over the world, preaching, sacrificing my life, so that you all become, each of you can become pure devotee like me." Generally, you don't hear Prabhupada say, "I'm pure devotee." It's rather opposite. When Paramahansa Maharaj was mentioning that one time, that Prabhupada is giving dictation to the answer of one of the letter from his disciple, that is pure devotee always remember Krishna? Prabhupada said, yes, pure devotee always remember Krishna. But after Prabhupada dictates, they repeat what they wrote before they send the letter. So the Paramahansa Maharaj, he was reading again. So yes, pure devotee like myself, we always remember Krishna. Prabhupada said, I didn't say that. I said, pure devotee remember Krishna. I didn't say I'm not a pure devotee. So Prabhupada, very humble always. But once in a while, to make a statement properly for our benefit, so in that case Prabhupada said, yes, I want each of you to become pure devotee like me. And you have to sacrifice. In order to do that, you have to sacrifice your life, and that's why you all have come. So it was very nice, very convincing. The time is rushing. I was going to talk about Madhavendra Puripad also, but I don't know. Anyway, this is just a short note I was writing this morning, that you all know the Gajendra story, how Gajendra was ruling this Trikuta mountain. Trikuta means three peak of a big mountain, and each one is made of a different metal. It was a gold, silver, copper. Brother, we give protection to our siblings, temple president giving protection, I mean, not necessarily like physical protection, inspiration, encouragement, what the body needs, these are all under that category. So Gajendra exhibiting that how he was literally protecting all the animals, especially his family, was not a one, two, hundreds and thousands. And he was so powerful, even rhinoceros, Prabhupada write, were scared of him. I don't know if rhinoceros fight with the elephant or, I didn't research, I don't know. But Gajendra was so powerful that he was giving protection to all the animals in Trikuta mountain. But as you all know the story that how he came to play with the family members in this beautiful reservoir of water filled with the whole glorification given, the demigods comes and bathe there, and there's a beautiful garden, beautiful beach. So Gajendra having a one family vacation kind of a time, and all of a sudden a giant crocodile, not necessarily bigger than him, but residents of the water, grab his leg, just one leg. And as Bhagavatam explained that it took 36,000 years. I don't know if anybody, I cannot imagine what it means. You are fighting with your, I'm sure in America also the lawyer probably they fight. I'm sure Shesha Prabhu knows probably more. Sometimes people probably fight for decades. May not be physical fight, but emotional fight. I know a story of a rich man, a long time back, one friend told me, many years back, that this man came to America from Amsterdam and he became multi-millionaire, and when he went back to his home country, they just gave an idea, why not you make this lane in your name? So he said, yeah, why not? I'm a successful, Dutch guy now in America. So they said, okay, you have to apply to the city. So they did that. Out of 11, all 11 has to vote, but 10 only voted, one was opposed. So it went back, it was about $50 fees. So he paid the fees, but he doesn't like this. He said, no, he's not anymore Dutch, he lives in America, it cannot be. We should keep the old name. But then man was fighting to get his name in for that lane 17 years. And it went over $2 million he is eager to pay. And still, I don't know now, probably still going on. So, and emotionally he was completely depressed, even though he's successful financially in that sense. So like this, we see the Gajendra in his life, he was giving protection. I don't know, I'm sure you can relate. As a mother or father or as a society leader, when you give protection to someone or your dependents for a long time, and then you come to a point where you don't have any protection from anybody, which you never looked at that way, and even your dependents that you are giving protection, that you begging from them protection. It's very, I don't know, emotional big challenge that you looking protection from your babies or something like that, that you used to give protection. Even that failed. And he was going on and on and on, and everything failed. None of the family member, none of the other animals, none of the anybody lives in that hilly area could protect him. Then finally, of course, he was reflecting that how it is possible. And then all of a sudden he saw the crocodile also in his grip, between the leg and his mouth, there is a space where the fish is going automatically inside and he remains stronger. And then Gajendra is thinking, wow, he was never going to be weak like me. And then all of a sudden he started looking at him, that he's becoming very, very weak. He's about to like collapse. When Gajendra saw that he had no power to defend himself, that none of his friends, relatives, wife could help him, he became extremely afraid of his being killed. And he thought, it was not like he giving up, he thought long time. Finally his decision is, it is by the will of providence I have been attacked by this crocodile. Now I was thinking like, why didn't he come to that conclusion in the beginning? Why it has to be 36,000 years? But then I look at my life also. I was stubborn. I was not surrendering. I'm now thinking to surrender completely, but it's like taking so long decision. So when he came to that conclusion that it is the providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile, therefore I shall seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada gave a beautiful purport on that, 8.2.31. And he remembered that in his previous life, that Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is the only protector. Even a great personalities, they cannot protect. It's only Krishna alone. So Gajendra prayed. How did he pray? He prayed from his heart. Means not the verbalization, but what he was feeling. He took shelter of Krishna at that time, completely depend on him. His emotional feeling was coming out in a prayers form. Of course, I don't know how the elephant language, but I'm sure Krishna related with that. That's how Krishna appeared there. Also, during the praying time, was not like he was not having a trouble. He has a trouble. He is afraid. He is fearful. I mean, he's seeing the fearful crocodile, and he is looking at crocodile that he's going to just finish me up. Any moment, I'll be finished. In that situation, in the pain, he was literally taking this serious step to surrender to the Lord. When we face our own problem, we should consider applying Gajendra's approach, I felt. Like when some disease happens, if we chant Hare Krishna, well, that's not exactly what Prabhupada suggested. This is just my realization. Like Mother Jasoda, seeing Krishna became so heavy that she could not lift him up. She said she thought immediately ghost has attacked him. Of course, Krishna has a purpose. He's going to get off of mother's lap so that Trinavarta can put him on an airplane and send him directly to Vaikuntha, the spiritual world. Well, then I was thinking, I'll end here, that how it's connected to us at this moment in our life. Well, in this age, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his appearance day is coming in few days. The holy names, the moment Mahaprabhu appeared, holy name also took birth. Isn't? Holy name was there, but was not so well distributed. You all know about the eclipse past time. So the holy name of the Lord incarnate to liberate us from the crocodile jaws of material energy and take us back home to the eternal world of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in the spirit of Gajendra, we should learn to surrender to the Lord with a humble and sincere heart. Not tomorrow, but today. Filled with the spirit of humility and grateful tolerance, whereby we offer all respect to others and expect none for ourselves, we can actually take shelter of the Lord. That is the meaning of the purport of this, what I see as surrender. At superficial level, surrender means doing what we are told, but deep down, surrender means to have the type of humility expressed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that? Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahisnana amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Also he said, my Lord, I am yours. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a whole song about this. You can trample me, embrace me, and break my heart, the last verse. Whatever situation you put me in, my Lord, I am yours. The spirit of Gajendra and the lesson of Srimad Bhagavatam are to welcome the adversities and transform them into blessings by sincerely and intensely taking shelter of the holy name of the Lord. Material existence is designed to give us the optimum situation in which we can really, seriously, from our hearts, cry out Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Following in Gajendra's footsteps. In every situation, the crocodile of suffering and death is imminent. Supreme liberation is the rightful claim only for one who lives in Alachua and who takes shelter of the Lord who, when difficulties comes. When setbacks, intrusions, impediments, disturbances come into our life, we must welcome them with folded palms and grateful hearts, thinking I deserve worse. This is the only a token trouble given by Krishna, as Prabhupada said in Morning Walk, that his head's supposed to be severe. He only got a token by finger cut. Similarly, Krishna is inviting us into his eternal transcendental pastime for total relief, shelter, ecstatic joy. Our body will die today, tomorrow, someday, Prabhus and mothers. If we can once take shelter of Krishna sincerely, cry out his holy name, we can be delivered. Therefore, all danger are blessing from Krishna, helping us to cry out to him. I'll end here. If there is any addition, question, comment. I'm sorry I could not speak about Madhavendra Puri because you all can read. There's beautiful pastimes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comment, questions?
Yes. I just have to add to that story about Guru Kripa. Is that okay?
Yes.
So Guru Kripa, I call him Swami because everyone knows he's like the toughest, devotee in this town. So anyway, that story, he told me his personal stuff, what he said, and then he told me more. He said that Prabhupada was talking to him at night like that, and and they were going back and forth, and Ruchi was saying, "Oh, I'm tired, Prabhupada, I'm sorry, I'm tired because we did so much work today, service." And this was in Mayapur, and so then Prabhupada said, "Well, yes, so you were sleeping, but I'm awake. I'm old man, and I'm translating at night." And, kind of transcendental challenge, like joking but serious at the same time. Probably, so special.
Yes.
So they're going back and forth, and finally, and this is, who can make Guru Kripa cry? See? And probably finally Guru Kripa starts crying. He's so submissive to Prabhupada. And so Prabhupada, they're going back and forth. Finally he says, Guru Kripa's crying. Prabhupada says, "That's right, this goes to he just test, that's the duty. He explained later before or other times. It's his duty to,
For a guru
do
to
that to the disciple,
yes,
to
yes,
train him, to bring out the, I can't explain it, So
Yes.
It's so ecstatic, his pastime. He kept just nailing him, nailing Guru Kripa. And he said, finally, Prabhupada just said, "Okay, that's all right." Because he's just testing him, training, just like the one at the end of when Prabhupada was laying on his bed and he died. And he was saying, "I want to go to my party ground." And some were saying, "Oh no, Prabhupada, you'll leave your body, and then what are you going to do?" And then I said, "No, I want to go." And we were going. And then Bhopanath Swami said, "Oh yeah, get the mattress and we'll put it on the bullock cart. You rode on bullock carts, how bouncy they are. Boom, boom, So he said, "We'll get the mattress and we'll put it on the bullock cart." They probably won't go on the bullock cart. So then they're going back and forth, and some are saying no, some are saying yes. And then finally says, "Prabhupada, why are you doing this to us? It's too much. Yes." Making them cry, making them, so finally he said, "Oh, that's all right. I won't go. I won't put you anymore." And I won't. He says, "Yes, I will go. Right over them. Party going."
They took him after. After he left, then they took him. That's nice. Thank you. That was very nice. Any other? No? Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande.